As a follower of Christ, what gives me courage? Hi, I'm Dwight Lindman, reflecting on a few thoughts from Pastor Stephen's sermon from Joshua 10 this past Sunday. If you remember, Stephen pointed out both the power of prayer and the power of action, all based on God's mercy and character. Remember, it is He who fights for us. He knows what is best for us. In fact, He cannot do or prescribe anything but the very best, no matter what I think. Therein lies the rub. It's often the case for me. I don't know about you, but you probably struggle with some of the same things. And if we're being truthful, we might say, are my ways higher than His ways and my thoughts than His thoughts? Oh, that sounds horrible just to say it. But what do my actions say? Remember, Joshua had courage because his confidence was in God, not in his strength, not in his wit, and not in his power, or even his leadership. It started with him being willing to obey right away. Action is proof of what we believe. Let me say that again. Action is proof of what we believe. I can say a lot of things, but I think it's great to listen to God's word. And I'm looking at James 1:22, where James says, "But be doers of the word and not hearers only, therefore thereby deceiving yourselves." And there's a lot there. If I'm not doing what God decreed through His word, I am deceiving myself. Have you ever thought of that? What do you think of someone who's deceived? We think of them as falling for deception, being weak, being foolish, being ignorant. And it's so often so easy to see if you're not that person, if you're outside of it. It's obvious they're being deceived. But then what happens? Well, we start to blame others, don't we? Because we don't get what we want. Where does this path lead? And to think, we do it to ourselves. How stupid is that? I'm trading good for bad, elation for shame, a brighter future for a tangled mess, all because I'm not a doer of the word. Let's turn it around as Joshua did. I am a doer of the word. I experience nearness to God, even developing boldness to ask for big things in faith. I am courageous to do what He calls me to do because I'm growing in my trust and understanding of this great, great God. My future is bright and even getting better as I'm filled with true freedom, freedom from sin, freedom from shame, and I'm experiencing the fruit of the Spirit in and through me. I have purpose and meaning. Who does not want that and more? Let's get started. It doesn't matter if we failed. Let's start turning that boat around. Don't sit and think about it. Remember, if you struggle to obey, you are struggling with deception in yourself. If that is our state, we cannot trust our own thoughts, nor can we dwell on them. In fact, we need to do just what God states. Jeremiah in Jeremiah 17:9 says, "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately sick. Who can understand it?" You ever talk yourself out of doing the right thing? You've probably heard, if you take care of the little things, the big things tend to take care of themselves. There's a lot of truth to that. It comes down to, what are we going to do? No more excuses or defending ourselves. Let's talk the word to ourselves and not listen to ourselves. As a believer, we know what we need to do. The little things. So often we want to focus on the big things, but the answer lies in the little things. Are we going to suppress the Spirit, or are we going to obey, is the question. Let's take the next right step, walking in obedience, being a doer, and experiencing Christ's richest blessing. And as we walk forward in faith, we will grow in courage. If you're not a believer or struggling in your walk, please reach out to us at Harbor Shores. We'd like to encourage you in the next right step.